Hello everybody once again and welcome to the High School Insider. I'm Zach Borg with WHO Channel 13 Sports. Joining me once again from the Des Moines Register, Andy Hamilton, John Naughton. We'll get right into it, guys. Big upsets this week in the CIML. None bigger than Ankeny Dowling. Here's a Dowling team without Amara Darboe, their star player. We were all kind of wondering where they were going to go. And they beat an Ankeny team which was undefeated and has really dominated people with defense, put up 28 on them.
Yeah, it was a stunning outcome, but you know, one of the things that I thought was telling was the comment that Ankeny quarterback Joel Lanning said after the game. He said, we didn't come ready to play football, and you rewind things in your head a little bit on how that could be. Ankeny beat Southeast Polk. Southeast Polk hammered Dowling when Darboe went down. It was Dowling's first game without Amara Darboe, first full game without him, and you know, we're still talking about 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and sometimes those thoughts cross their minds, and they get ahead of themselves a little bit and probably looked past Dowling a little bit. And one of the things we talked about last week was Dowling without Darboe, how do they go forward? And you know, I thought they really needed to develop another downfield threat, somebody who could stretch the field a little bit. And Brandon Ogden came through with 6 catches for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that was key for Dowling last week.
Another big upset in the CIML, Waukee at Marshalltown. I mean, you got a Waukee team. First, they scored 50 points, which I don't think any of us really saw coming. And then even more impressively, they hold Blake Gimble and that Marshalltown attack to just 28 points.
That's right. I mean, Marshalltown has been the team that's been throwing the ball, you know, moving the ball, getting, you know, 5 touchdown passes a game. Gimble was coming off his record-setting game.
The 567 yard.
Yeah, and so nobody really saw this coming, but Waukee played perhaps its best game of the season.
Game you and I were at, John, Valley, Ames. Ames kind of overmatched at this point. They've had a lot of injuries, but Valley, no surprise there. They keep rolling 41-0.
Yeah, another solid game out of Valley, which has now moved up to number 2 in the Des Moines Register's football rankings. Tigers are unbeaten. Their defense was outstanding. They got some more of the passing game going too, and Trey Lewis, of course, was his usual dependable self.
And a score that opened some eyes, unfortunately, for a lot of the wrong reasons. Lincoln beats North 86-28. We've gotten a few emails wondering, was Lincoln running up the score in this game?
I don't think so, because I mean, the state of Iowa plays with a 35-point rule. That clock is running, and you know, if teams happen to play a really open field style where they're running the ball up and down the field, I mean, they're going to do it whether the clock has stopped or if it's running. So I don't think in this particular case that it was the case of you know, putting out the first stringers in the fourth quarter and letting them run up the score. After all, you know, those backup kids, they want to get to the end zone too.
I was one of those backup kids for a number of years myself, so I can testify to that. Smaller classes, we had a classic game. ADM, Carlisle. Carlisle gets out to a big lead. Looks like they're going to win this game. And ADM just comes back. One of the best comebacks we've seen in a number of years.
Yeah, it was a really strange game. It was like the 2 teams went into halftime and changed uniforms. Gavin Glenn really took the game over at quarterback and made a lot of plays. And all of a sudden, you know, you look up in the fourth quarter and ADM's got the ball and all the momentum, and suddenly they're driving for the go-ahead score.
Well, as we look ahead now, it's week 7. We're getting a lot closer now to the playoffs. Not a whole lot of big games in the CIML this week. I think the one that stands out now, we're going to see how does Dowling move forward as they play Johnston over at Drake Stadium.
If they can keep the momentum going against Johnston, they've got still, you know, a shot at certainly the playoffs and possibly even the conference title. We'll see how it goes.
And it's really going to be a bigger week for some of the smaller classes right now. We're seeing a lot of number 1s with tough games, a lot of undefeated teams.
Yeah, I think there are 37 undefeateds still in Iowa right now. We'll see 4 of them going head-to-head this week, at least. Webster City, number 1 in 3A, takes on number 3 Clear Lake. And then in 2A, number 1 West Marshall takes on undefeated Fort Dodge St. Edmund. I think those are 2 of the marquee games around the state this week, and should be fascinating to see who comes out of those.
12 undefeated teams lost last week, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Certainly will. We are into our first week of October football in the preps for Andy Hamilton, John Naughton, I'm Zach Borg. We'll see you again next week on the High School Insider.